This is Top 30. Coming up, a look back at the incredible life of Penny Marshall, what it means to be a December baby, and a reminder to always check before you open the door. Hi there, welcome to the show. I'm Kristin Smith, and here are 30 things you need to know right now. With more than 112 million Americans expected to travel this holiday season, some good news. Gas prices are the lowest they've been all year. Some U.S. states are seeing a gallon for under $2, and as of Tuesday, the national average was $2.37, besting last year's average around this time of $2.54. And Forbes has named their wealthiest celebrities of 2018 based on net worth earnings, private company stakes, publicly traded assets, art, and real estate assets. The youngest to make the list was 21-year-old Kylie Jenner, who tied Jay-Z for 5th place with a net worth of $900 million. Filmmakers George Lucas and Steven Spielberg nabbed the number 1 and number 2 spots, respectively, at $5.4 billion and $3.7 billion. His heiress, Michael Jordan, is doing quite well still, and so is James Patterson, who brought in more than any other author out there, tying Tiger Woods for 9th with $800 million. And finally, check out this unwanted visitor at a Naples, Florida home. After checking out some Christmas decorations, the bear actually rings the doorbell with his nose. The owner yells through the ring system and tells the bear to go away several times before he finally listens and wanders back off into the night. Okay, now let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with Jerry Willis. Jerry, there's another negative report about Facebook.
Hey, Kristin, that's right. The New York Times reporting that Facebook gave 150 companies access to private user data. The company reportedly gave Netflix and Spotify the ability to read users' private messages. They also let Amazon find users' names and contact information through their friends on the platform. Facebook says that these partnerships do not violate their users' privacy or their 2012 privacy agreement with the FTC. Staying with tech now, Amazon offering a Merry Holiday deal on Apple's 2018 9.7-inch iPad, pricing it at just $229. That is $100 off retail. And that's not the only deal Amazon is offering. Free shipping with delivery in time for Christmas. And Popeyes is offering flyers comfort and reassurance in the air with its emotional support chicken. No kidding. For a limited time, travelers in Terminal C of Philadelphia International Airport can purchase a fried chicken meal in a specially designed chicken-themed carrier box.
So why is the company doing this?
Well, it's a tongue-in-cheek promotion aimed at poking fun at the controversy over permitting emotional support animals on flights. Popeyes says it wants to give travelers some much-needed humor during their stressful holiday travels.
Interesting story. Thanks, Jerry. Time now for the New York Minute with Rosanna Scotto from Fox 5 New York. Rosanna, my friend, the world has lost a legendary Bronx native.
Let me tell you something, Penny Marshall, what a life, what a career. Just 75 years old. She died from complications of diabetes. Now, her family said Penny was a girl from the Bronx who came out west, put a cursive L on her sweater, and she transformed herself into a Hollywood success story. She really did. She's probably best known as tough-talking Italian Laverne DeFazio on Laverne and Shirley. The show ran for 8 seasons. She was actually a Happy Days spinoff with Laverne and Shirley, first appearing on a double date with Fonzie and Richie. And like Laverne, Penny's go-to drink was allegedly a mix of Pepsi and milk.
Oh, God.
Yes. As a director, she was behind, by the way, some classic movies like The Preacher's Wife, Jumpin' Jack Flash, 1988, Big, which was the first female-directed film to gross $100 million. 4 years later, she had a #1 again with the baseball classic A League of Their Own. Remember that one with Madonna?
Love that movie.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
And then Awakenings. She also broke barriers, becoming only the second woman to direct a Best Picture nominee. Now, the other thing I liked about her, she was an Italian-American. Her real last name was Marchiarelli, but her family changed their name because back in the day in Hollywood, you couldn't sound too ethnic. So her dad, who was a big director at the time, took Marshall.
Such a legend, actress, director, just an overall person, really. Rosanna, thank you so much for sharing that. All right, moving on. Astrology tells us one thing, but a series of studies have even more to say about those born in the 12th month of the year. December babies may feel ripped off as birthday gifts are shared with the holidays, but at least they have more chances to celebrate. A 2011 study in the Journal of Aging Research suggests those born in December are at a higher risk of surviving up to age 105 or above. That, as a Columbia University study of some 1.75 million medical records found December babies are also at a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Personality-wise, surveys suggest those born in the last month of the year complain less, are less prone to mood swings, and have fewer temper tantrums than those born in the summer. And parents who conceive in March may want to invest in a dental drill or a ball, as various reports have found December babies are more likely to become dentists or athletes. Seems like when it comes to birthdays, they really do save the best for last. Let's go to Danielle Knox now from Fox 35 Orlando. She has what you need to know today. So Danielle, I hear some teens are actually afraid of driving.
Hi, Kristin. Well, do you have a teenager old enough to drive but doesn't want to? A new survey says 1 in 4 teens are afraid to drive because of their parents. The teens say they think driving is scary, and because their parents agree, they back away from it entirely and take Uber, for example. And you know what they say, you only have one chance to make a good first impression, but it turns out you may need to make that impression faster than you think. According to a new study, you only have 27 seconds. Key contributors to making a positive impression include smiling, being polite, being a good listener, and smelling good. Well, you might be feeling some anxiety about finding the perfect gift for everybody on your Christmas list, but it turns out it's not even going to matter in the long run. New research has found people are likely to forget about what you gave them. The survey conducted by Groupon shows more than half of the gifts people got last year have already been forgotten. But if you really mess it up, 35% of people surveyed say a bad gift changes their opinion of a person. Oh, so they're going to remember that and forget about everything else. Okay. That's what you need to know. And Kristin, I remember getting my mom this really cute hand-knitted scarf and hat set, and she was not pleased. I told her it was handmade just for you, and she still wasn't having it some, 5 years later. Back to you now.
Well, you win some, you lose some. Thanks, Danielle. People have no trouble admitting that 2018 was quite the year in technology. So much so that Time magazine has released their own list of the best gadgets of 2018 that helped shape the year. But we'll give you 5 of those. No surprises here. The Apple iPad Pro costing users about $800. The new iPad Pro uses the face scanning camera and the Apple Pencil with a lighter and brighter design. Next, the Amazon Fire Stick TV 4K. Amazon's most recent streaming stick gives users many features in its package, and also includes a remote to control your soundbar and receiver for $35. Then pricing in at $129, Google Home Hub. The screen shows information most useful to you, like your favorite pics, commute time, and weather. Coming in next, the Apple Watch Series 4 for about $400. Users can take advantage of the new heart monitoring function and more features, keeping an eye out for your health. And finally, Fuji's X-T3 mirrorless camera, previously called one of the best cameras out today. Users can play with the 26.1 megapixel sensor and impressive quality while also experiencing that old school feel for about $1,500. Can't wait to see what we get in 2019. And stay with us, still ahead, a bombshell report about the number of students vaping. And John Ratzenberger, who played Cliff Clavin on Cheers, will be here in studio to help me break down a few stories. You won't want to miss it. Top 30, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. According to a bombshell report in the New England Journal of Medicine, the total number of high school students using tobacco surged by 1.3 million between 2017 and 2018. Researchers say the increase was driven solely by nicotine vaping. More than 1 in 5 high school seniors say they vaped in the past month. That's compared to 1 in 6 sophomores. The data comes from the nationwide Monitoring the Future survey, which has tracked teen use of tobacco, alcohol, illicit drugs, and other substances substances since 1975. Researchers say vaping's surge in popularity is unlike anything they've seen in the survey's history. The makers of electronic cigarettes say their products are aimed for adult users who wish to cut back on smoking traditional cigarettes, since e-cigs are considered a less toxic alternative. But the FDA has criticized e-cig manufacturers for targeting their products to teens with colorful packaging and sweet flavors like mango, mint, and cream. In September, the FDA gave retailers 60 days to submit a plan to prevent youth vaping, since teens who vape are about 5 times as likely to become cigarette smokers than those who don't. As for the long-term effects of vaping, lead researcher Richard Meach said only time will tell. Kids who are vaping are acting like guinea pigs. We will find out in the future what the long-term risks are going to be. Time now for this week's Page 6 Fix. A Pulp Fiction reunion goes wrong while Offset tries to make things right. But first, what better way to celebrate the holidays than with a little Hamilton? Elizabeth Wagmeister has details. Hi, Liz.
Well, Kristin, it was a holiday party to top all others. Stars like Mary-Kate Olsen, Courtney Love, and Jake Gyllenhaal piled into New York's famous piano bar, Marie's Crisis, where Princess Beatrice was belting out a song from Hamilton. And at a party across town, Pulp Fiction co-stars Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson reunited at the after-party for Broadway's To Kill a Mockingbird, when a fan who appeared to be drunk approached the couple, asking them to reenact the famous dancing scene. Clearly, the fan had mistaken Jackson for John Travolta. And over in LA, it appears that all Offset wants for Christmas is his wife back. The rapper made a desperate plea by interrupting Cardi B's performance with an over-the-top apology. And that's this week's Page 6 Fix. See you next time.
All right, thanks, Liz. For the latest news and gossip, make sure you watch Page 6 TV. Check your local listings. Talking to friends and family, it might seem like the amount of people working a 40-hour 9-to-5 has become few and far between. But according to British billionaire Richard Branson, that's because it'll soon be a thing of the past. An article by CNBC says Branson wrote that the idea of working 5 days a week with 2-day weekends and a few weeks of holiday each year has become ingrained in society, that we see it as the norm. But that wasn't always the case, and likely won't be in the future, as technology will change jobs now held by humans. In fact, the number of jobs could decrease as technology progresses because machines may be doing jobs for humans, and even better than humans. Branson says that it may sound like bad news, but there are ways to have the technological advancement work for our good. If businesses could pay for workers to be retrained and gain the skills they need in the new workplace while keeping their income the same, it could be really positive. Branson suggests that technology could help create smarter work practices and even a longer vacation time. So look out, because in a few years, your workday may look anything but typical. All right, moving on. Removing facial hair can be painful, not to mention expensive, which is why we have today's Top 30 steal. A soft and smooth, painless face and eyebrow hair removal set at a special 53% discount. This 2-piece set is perfect for all of your grooming needs. The facial hair removal tool gets rid of peach fuzz instantly, which really helps your makeup glide on flawlessly. It's completely painless, and the high-quality blades are gentle enough to use every day. The perfect brows tool will make waxing a thing of the past. Removing hair doesn't have to be painful either. The precision tip and LED light make it so easy to clean up your brows and to maintain their shape. Both tools are hypoallergenic and gentle on all skin types. The soft and smooth, painless face and eyebrow hair removal set retails for as much as $40. But today you can buy it for just $19. That's a 53% discount. You can get this right now at morningsave.com while they last. Welcome back to Top 30. We are in for a special treat today. You may know our next guest from 11 seasons as bar know-it-all Cliff Clavin on Cheers, or from his roles in movies like The Empire Strikes Back, Superman, and every single Pixar film. It's John Ratzenberger. John, thank you so much for stopping by. So all 20 Pixar movies, congratulations on that.
Has it been 20?
I believe it's been 20, but did you stop counting around like 10?
I stopped counting at 1.
So many iconic characters. We've got the Ham in Toy Story, the piggy, Mac the truck, the Underminer. Do you have a favorite?
I enjoy P.T. Flea, who is the ringmaster on Bug's Life.
Oh, yes. So Toy Story 4, we're all very excited about. Can you give us all of your secrets? What can we expect from Toy Story 4, the plot?
Oh, yeah. They had to figure it. And that's pretty much all I can tell you.
All right, here on Top 30, John, we go through a lot of stories, 30 stories in just 30 minutes. So we have a few stories to talk about.
I was going to ask you what we're doing
I
here.
know, right? We're just hanging out. So we're going to go through a few stories, and I want to just get your take, okay? Okay, so first one, here we go. The UPS store is facing some backlash after a tweet didn't go over exactly as planned. Listen to this. If your child addresses a letter to the North Pole, you can leave it with us. We do shredding. They got so much backlash, like, oh my gosh, kids are gonna freak out over this.
Do you think maybe they were talking about snowboarding?
Possibly, like shred.
My guess is that whoever's behind the counter at that particular UPS office doesn't have children.
Right.
As a matter of fact, when I wanted to make sure my kids believed in Santa Claus, so I actually, with the fireplace, I put footprints and then fireplace ash across the living room carpet.
Yeah.
And things like that.
That's amazing.
But I still, there is a lot to be said for believing.
Yeah. Let's stick with the holiday theme for our next one. A Louisiana woman's choice of Christmas decorations is tearing her town apart. She set up this nativity display on her lawn using inflatable dragons. So neighbors are complaining. They say she looks like she's in a demonic cult and it's not very Christmassy. And you know what she did, John? She put more dragons. She went on and she put more and more.
How old is this woman? It sounds like she's one of the Flotsam and Jetsam that came out of Woodstock. That'd be my guess. Or she confused the birth of Jesus Christ with the birth of Harry Potter. It sounds like a disgruntled, aged hippie.
Maybe not the neighbor you'd want to live next to if you're into
because you get all that smell of patchouli.
Yeah, some people like that smell. So let's shift gears and talk about something near and dear to your heart. And I don't know if everyone knows manufacturing and vocational training, it's very special to you.
Yeah, it is special to me. I grew up in a factory town. My mother worked in a factory. I was a carpenter before I became an actor. I was a journeyman carpenter. Because somebody has to be.
Right.
Otherwise, these lights aren't going to be
Of course.
Floors and everything that you see and that we rely on was built by somebody's hands.
Of course.
And we're running out of those people because 30 years ago, somebody got it in their heads that, well, it's not important to teach kids what we called shop classes.
I remember shop class.
Metal work, all this stuff. And everyone's got to go to college. Well, now we've sent everybody to college, and now you've got a lot of well-educated, unemployed people. Kids graduate from high school now without even knowing how to read a simple ruler. And that's dangerous for all of us. People don't think about that every single day. Get up, go to work, and blah, blah, blah. But that bridge that you're crossing has to be maintained. The car you're driving has to be maintained. And we're running out of those people that know how to operate those machines. Do
you have a suggestion as to how to implement in the younger generation, how to work with your hands?
This is what my mother did. Even though back then, they said, go on, get outside, go play.
Yeah.
And the only rule was be back before the streetlights come on.
Right.
But she would go to old garage sales, that kind of thing, and buy old radios, old appliances.
Yeah.
And then she'd bring them home and give me some tools, and the appliance said, go, take it apart. I'm 4 years old. I'm having a ball because you're opening this thing up, and whether it's a toaster or whatever it is. Wow, I mean, it's magic in there. It's an adventure. If you allow the kid to do that, then you're understanding there's a universal law that everything follows a certain pattern. And once you learn that as a kid, you've got that forever.
Wise woman, that mother of yours, John.
Yep.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me here. I wish we could stay all day.
Okay, I got nothing to do. I'm gonna meet my daughter later.
So maybe we will, but this show is sadly just 30 minutes. Come back and see us?
Yeah, if you tell Nick, he'll find me.
Okay, producer Nick, I'll let him know. All right, we have more Top 30 coming up after this. Welcome back. An up-and-coming R&B artist is ready to take on the world with his second album. And Elizabeth Stanton from Popstar Magazine is here with more. Hi, Liz.
Yes, Kristin, he may be young, but that hasn't stopped Khalid from taking the music industry by storm. He started working on his debut album, American Teen, while he was still in high school. And after RCA Records discovered him on SoundCloud, he signed with them as his official label. The rest is music history. 2018 was absolutely an award-winning year for him. He recently received 5 Grammy nominations and won multiple awards, including Best New Artist and R&B Album of the Year at iHeartRadio Music Awards. While he considers American Teen a time capsule for him and his friends, he is ushering in what he calls the start of a new era with his EP, Sun City. You can read all about Khalid in the current issue of Popstar magazine on stands now. Back to you, Kristin.
Can't wait to see what he'll do next. Thanks, Liz. And that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching. Here's what's coming up on the next Top 30. New research finds the holidays come with a hidden health risk, especially on Christmas Eve. Plus, go behind the scenes of the Brady Bunch house renovation with members of the original cast. And most robots perform tasks, but this one just wants to be your friend. You can also listen to the day's biggest stories on the Top 30 podcast. It's all coming up on the next Top 30.